Back at this, and this is just another quick update on how this project is moving on. Now, as you already seen, the battery holder is in really bad shape, and I cannot use that. Also, I can't use it because it has this curve on the bottom here, so I would not be able to fit as many batteries in here as I initially wanted to. So, I decided to print a new one. I made the whole design for everything, and that one just fits in there perfectly. It's pretty much the same size. It's two pieces that get screwed together on the bottom, and I will weld the sides together because I want it to be one solid piece. And yeah, got some 18650s in here just so I can test the arrangement. These are additional cells I still have, since I have not managed. Well, I have managed to build one battery pack so far, but I'm gonna build 3 in total, so that's 42 cells. 2 in parallel, and the rest is pretty much in series. And this is the battery pack I built. Yeah, I don't have a welder for these type of batteries, so I pretty much had to solder all those. But what I did, these batteries have these tabs on them, so I just pretty much soldered the wire onto there. And this is thick enough so it should support the entire current. I mean, again, there's just a 100 watt motor, so it's gonna be a maximum of 5 amps. Of course, on power up it can pull more until it reaches its full speed, but again, with the pulse width modulation that I'm going to add to this, it'll be a whole lot better and a whole lot more efficient than it originally was. So I'm just gonna take that out of here so you can have a look. And yeah, you can tell I got the size here wrong because I didn't check this part here in the back. I didn't think of this, that the thing that holds the mount in place is higher than the rest of it actually, so it fits underneath this metal bar. Now this one was actually slightly bent, so I had to bend that back into shape. I also have to bend these since, yeah, the reason probably why that got smashed is because somebody must have driven over something that was too high for this scooter and smashed against the battery holder. And I'm going to, yeah. Which is why these two are bent. And yeah, this is the new one. Pretty much just use a soldering iron to cut a piece out of that, and now it fits on another perfectly. Now, initially my plan was to put the 18650s in here like so. I mean, from the height they would just fit. Well, they would just fit. But the problem is I have this metal bar here, so that will be right over the top of the batteries, which is not such a good idea. And the other thing is, if I would do this, I'm worried that I would stand on the batteries, which again would not be really great. Now, luckily, well, the good thing about this arrangement would be that I could fit a total of 4 next to each other. Just put them in there so they don't short each other out, so like that. Now, that would give me about 2.5 times the original capacity, but since this arrangement again is a bit weird and I'm afraid that I would be again standing on the batteries, I'm just worried that I would damage them or damage the solder connectors, or in the worst case scenario actually short them out, and I really don't want that. Since this is just a 24 volt 4.4 amp hour battery pack now. And yeah, so the current idea is, so I can also add some stuff, add some soft material around the battery, like cloth or plastic, that the batteries don't move around and are protected from bumps and everything. So I'm just gonna put them in here like this, and stack a total of 3 on top of each other, so there is enough clearance for everything. I will not be able to stand on the batteries, and this should be a perfect setup, I think. Now, yeah, the thing is my printer is just not big enough to print this whole thing in one piece, so it's 2 pieces. Goes on like so, like just pretty much like the original, and I have a lot more space in there. I could have used the entire thing, but I'm using less, so I have enough space for the rest of the circuitry, since this is just going to be the battery, and if there's enough space left in terms of height and how many cells are gonna go in here like that, Uh, yeah, it should work just fine. And yeah, that's pretty much it's what it's doing so far. I'm currently printing the other piece, and I'm trying to get more and more cells, since I have a total of 30 cells now, and I need 42. So I'm still missing 12 good cells. All the cells I have here are just fine. Those are perfect cells. Those are from all of my laptops, actually, and those have never really been used. I wasn't out a lot. I didn't have the battery in when I was charging was using a laptop. Always pretty much had the battery separate. And yeah, these should all just be fine. I got another pack. And I have now 9 more cells. Those are red Sanyo ones. Which are these? But the thing is, 2 of those cells were at 2.5 volts, where the rest are at 3.8 volts. So these seem to be just fine. I know that 2.5 volts is just the cutoff voltage, but it's weird that there's such a different voltage on these. I never really had that. I pretty much only had a difference of voltage of 0.1, but yeah, not more than a volt. So I have to test these two if they are still alright. I mean, they aren't going lower than 2.5 volts, so that's at least good. So they aren't draining themselves. It could just be that I don't know, but it's weird that these cells are lower than the other ones. And yeah, that's where we are so far. So test these, sort them all together, make another pack, put it in parallel, get the BMS, and yeah, that's the other piece. I hope I have enough plastic left for all this, but I think it should be fine. Thing is, just this will take forever. It's been 1 hour and 16 minutes, and it's just reached 20%, so you can imagine that it's gonna take a while. And I hope all the sizes are correct, which I think they are, so it shouldn't be an issue.